Hello everyone, welcome to episode 21 of the Stop the Damn Match Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Phil Lamington. Sitting to my left is a man who, he was most happy that Roman Reigns won the Elimination Chamber match. And that's JB. JB, how are you, my friend?
I was most happy, and I'm taking pleasure in Twitter on letting the the wrestling nerds know about it.
The Sami Zayn diehards.
At JHBartley090. No, I think it's JBartley90 on Twitter, actually. So
yes.
Go nuts.
And seated to my right is the Professor, the man. I didn't have an intro for him, so I'm just winging it. But it's Dr. Seamus. Dr. Seamus, how are you?
Yeah, that's just rude.
Yeah, I know, well.
Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas. Can you sing?
No.
Right, so we just finished watching the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, or premium live event for 2023. And we're just going to go straight into it. It was in Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Sure was.
And had a very hot crowd. I think it was close to a sellout. And it was, yeah. So, oh, pardon me. Sorry, we just had pizzas, so... The first match to kick off the pay-per-view was the Women's Elimination Chamber match, which I believe was for the number one contendership to Bianca Belair's Raw Women's title.
That is correct.
Yes.
And it had Asuka, Carmella, Raquel Rodriguez, Nikki Cross, Natalya, and Liv Morgan. And the match started with Natalya and Liv Morgan starting the match. Now, we're not going to go through the blow-by-blow on every match. If you want that, I'm pretty sure Wrestling with Regret will do that, so whatever.
Every YouTube channel will do that.
Yeah, every YouTube channel will give you the blow-by-blow. We're just going to cut straight to the chase. So the match started with Natalya and Liv Morgan, and then the first person to be released from a pod was Raquel Rodriguez, which was that was a bit of a surprise for me. But I suppose she can actually go for a long time in a wrestling match, so it probably was the wisest maneuver. Then Nikki Cross entered the match. She did some strange stuff while she was hiding in her cell too, like while she was waiting to get released, where she was sitting there doing like finger painting on the Lexicon Perspex bulletproof glass that's made out of plastic.
Well, she does play a little demon psycho lady pretty well.
She crazy.
Yeah, she nuts.
Eventually, Nikki Cross climbed up onto the top of one of the pods and dove off onto all the girls who were on the outside of the ring, which was a nice little spot. Then Carmella entered the ring. Raquel put Nikki Cross through the chamber door shortly after Carmella entered the match. And then Raquel pinned Nikki Cross and eliminated Nikki Cross from the match. And Liv Morgan sunset flipped from the top of the chamber onto Raquel Rodriguez, who was on, I think, the second rope or the top rope, and turned it into a sunset powerbomb flip into the ring, which that was quite a good spot. Then Asuka enters the match. Asuka proceeds to beat the holy hell out of Carmella. Like, absolutely threw her a beating.
Well deserved.
Exactly. And then Natalya locked in the sharpshooter on Liv Morgan, and then Asuka locked in her new version of the armbar on Liv Morgan at the same time. Liv Morgan passed out and was eliminated from the match. Carmella eliminated Natalya with a super kick. The irony of a member of the Hart family being eliminated from a match with a super kick in Montreal.
Yeah, that was something.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was well teed up by someone in creative.
Vince.
Yeah.
And Natalya was eliminated. And then Carmella and Asuka team up to eliminate Raquel Rodriguez.
Eliminated from the match, but never from Johnny's heart.
Yeah.
And then finally, Asuka locks in her new version of her armbar, which looks more like the rings of Saturn.
Sort of does.
And eliminates Carmella, and Asuka wins the Elimination Chamber. Well, I gave this match 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
To be honest, it had very little drama in it. It had very little in the way of spots in it. It just felt a bit flat.
Yeah.
But JB, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, look, I agree. I thought it was a little bit flat as well, but the spots it did have were pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't dramatic. I wasn't emotionally invested. Besides just ogling Natalia, but I think the spots that were in it were pretty well affected. And I think there was enough action to keep me entertained. It didn't lag too long. It wasn't one of those matches that just drag out.
Yeah.
I gave it a 3 out of 5. I thought it was a decent match.
Shane?
I'd agree with Johnny there with a 3. As he said, the spots that it did have were quite good. It did have a lot of lulls, but, namely being Carmella. But the match itself, I enjoyed. There's no story to it, so you couldn't get fully invested into it like the later matches, but it was still pretty entertaining.
I think for me, the downers on the match were, I don't think Carmella should be anywhere near a wrestling ring.
Yep.
And all the spots that were in it, unfortunately, we've seen done before. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen the crossbody off the top of the cage spot. We've seen the sunset flip spot. We've seen them all, so there's nothing new or innovative about it. And it really was an elaborate way of just getting Asuka to be the number 1 contender. But I shall digress. The next match was the ginormous Hoss fight, which was Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. And the thing about this match is it's got the cloud hanging over it of whoever wins this match has to face Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. I don't know if that's a positive, but still. This match was just a big burly brawl of those two just hitting their damn finishes. That's really all it was. It was a couple of German suplexes, then it was spear, F5, spear, F5, spear, F5. And then eventually Bobby Lashley locks in the hurt lock, the master lock, call it what you will. And Brock can't get out of it, so he goes to Dick Kick City and hits the mule kick on Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley wins via DQ. And then Brock Lesnar F5s Brock Lesnar F5s Bobby Lashley through the announcer table, and then F5s the referee.
Then he kicked his leg out of his leg.
So, Shay, I'll let you go first on this one. What were your thoughts?
It's just your typical Haas fight with Brock that, we know he can do more moves, but he just does finisher, suplex, finisher, clothesline, finisher, spear. They're pretty much the only things that he really uses. He needs to, sure, he does Haas fights about as well as anyone that big can, but he can do more. He can do a fucking shooting star press, for fuck's sake. He can do all these things, but he just chooses not to because he's just lazy. And annoys the shit out of me. He can cut a promo. He's proved that by himself. He doesn't need Paul. But he just needs to do more in the ring. Otherwise, it's just the same shit over and over and over. Like, Brock is good, don't get me wrong, but he gets boring real quick. Hence why all these matches are like sub 10 minutes.
What are you going to give it out of 5?
2.
JB?
Yeah. Just spam finishes and then get disqualified on a low blow. That's just lazy.
Yeah.
Like, why have the match? Why even have the match? What's it build? What's it prove? Who comes out of that a winner? No one.
Hey, what are you going to give?
Everybody loses. Everybody loses because we had to watch it. One.
Oh, Jesus. Still hitting the damn microphone. I'm just on fire today.
Contact.
I woke up about 20 minutes before the pay-per-view started. And I had an accident at a gig last night. So, I gave it 1.5. There was nothing in this match. This felt like it was a Vince-booked match.
Very well could have been.
It just... There was nothing in it. And what are the stakes? Oh, the winner faces Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. Like, yay, we've got something shit to look forward to. We've gone for a hoss fight to some gimmicky, weirdy, blah, 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 blah bullshit match. Sorry, I'm not interested. The only way we could come out of this with something half decent is if it's Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy versus Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. That's the only way it comes out of it looking half decent. This match just... We didn't have a women's title match on this pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's
and we
weird.
had this.
Yeah.
This.
Yep.
This was a match on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what? Why? It was just completely meh. And it did nothing. It didn't help anyone. It didn't hurt anyone. All it did was just sacrifice time.
Yeah.
10 minutes of our life that we could have gotten back. And the thing is, this is one of those dream matches. Lesnar versus Lashley. Like, they're both, amateur wrestlers and MMA guys. And you kind of expected more. And for the third time in a row, this is the limp fart that we get.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. I don't want to see this match ever again. So I gave it 1.5, and I think I was being generous. I nearly wrote a 1 on there. Right. Next match. Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. Early on, Beth and Rhea botch a spot. It looked like Rhea was supposed to run towards Beth, but she just didn't cooperate. There was a lovely "fuck you, Dominic" chant all the way through it.
Mm.
I'm sure the censors really would have loved to have been able to censor the crowd with this pay-per-view. At various point in the match, when Beth was going for a tag, Finn Balor actually crawled underneath the ring all the way over to Edge's side of the ring and then pulled Edge off the apron, which I thought was kind of cool and unique and innovative. At one point, Beth and Edge both lock in the execution.
Yeah, that was a nice touch.
And then Rhea Ripley got out of it. Dominic threw her the brass knocks, and she hit both of them with brass knucks. And then Beth threw Dominic onto the ropes while Finn Balor was setting up for the coup de grace. Coup de grace, Corey Graves, not coup de grace. The rest of us know how French language works, idiot. Threw Dominic onto the ropes, which caused Finn Balor to fall off the top rope and not be able to hit the coup de grace. Beth and Rhea both hit power bombs from the turnbuckle on their respective partners. Edge hit Dominic with a spear to the outside where he dove through the ropes, which was a cool spot. Nice little throwback to Edge versus Foley at WrestleMania a few years ago. Edge hit the spear on Finn, and Edge and Beth both hit the Shatter Machine on Finn Balor. Edge pins Finn Balor and gets the win. JB, your thoughts?
Yeah, solid match. Solid match. Ugh. Sorry, I was arguing with Twitter. Which match are we on?
Edge and Beth.
Yeah, no, you were talking about that, sorry. Wrestling fans are like really jealous about Sammy losing. Spoiler alert. Yeah, no, I thought it was good. I thought it was good for Edge and Beth to get a little bit of redemption. Are they going to rematch at WrestleMania though?
No.
So that doesn't feel like a full stop on the Judgment Day to me.
I think because Rhea Ripley won the Royal Rumble,
Yeah.
and she's challenging Charlotte,
Yeah.
so she's swapping brands.
So it sort of has to be the end of the Judgment Day.
Well, I think it's
It
going
has to be like some sort of implosion, though, right?
It's got to be Finn versus Edge. If they're going to finish it, it's got to be Finn versus Edge. At
Yeah.
Mania.
Yeah, and then I want Finn to realize, like, when he loses to Edge, that his Judgment Day gimmick isn't working and he goes back to being the Demon.
That'd be nice.
I'd like that. I miss Demon Finn. I thought Edge looked... Man, I said it during the match. Beth Phoenix hasn't lost a step. She looks great. She's still got it. She did that superplex off the top.
She was a bit sluggish in the ring, but other than that, like her power game, her moves are still
Edge
pretty
is a
solid.
bit sluggish in the ring too now, but he's fucking 20 years older than he was in his prime.
He's still moving quicker than Beth. Beth had some pretty obvious botches.
Yeah, and
But-
Dominic, and the Judgment Day do a really good job of making me hate them. Especially Dominic. Dominic does a good job of making people hate him.
Oh, Condom.
Yeah, old condom. Just because, he's just a little brat that, once he's got no protection, he's going to get smashed. So, Judgment Day are really good. And I said that too. I'm surprised Judgment Day have been around for as long as they have, but they found new ways to reinvent themselves as a heel faction, and it's worked. They get heat. Dominic especially gets heat. And, Edge and Beth brought it to them tonight and beat them in a pretty solid match. I give it a 3 out of 5. I enjoyed it. I just don't... I feel like that can't be the end of Judgment Day. It needs to be more definitive than that for me. But we'll see.
Shane?
Going on what Johnny said, I don't think it'll be the end of Judgment Day, but I think it's the end of the feud between Edge, Beth, and the Judgment Day. That's a good way to finish that on, for them to move on to something else. Chuck them in with, I don't know, like another tag team of some kind. I couldn't even name one off the top of my head, like a mixed one.
Hit Row.
Yeah.
Hit Row needs something
if they
to
decide
come
to
back.
do something with them, yeah, that's a good option.
From all accounts, Triple H has given up on Hit Row.
Yeah, like this one I'll give 3 stars, just because... Yeah, 3 stars, because we've seen them wrestle individually before. Yes, it was cool seeing Beth back, but there just wasn't as much of a build as other matches on the card.
Yeah, I gave it 3.5. I felt like Beth and Rhea Ripley really carried the match. Like, they were in the ring for a long time. Normally in these mixed tag matches, it's the guys who do the bulk, and then the women sort of pick up the scraps at the end. So it was nice to see a bit of a reversal of that. One thing I was disappointed about was that Dominic Mysterio is doing all this interference, and they're building towards him versus Rey Mysterio, and it would have been nice if Rey Mysterio had shown up and finally...
Yeah, what the hell? That was a missed opportunity.
Finally kicked off, like, I've had enough of you, it's time for you to get a smack around the head.
Get a clip around the ear, boy.
And set up them having a match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That would have been primo, right there, perfect. And I get the feeling that Finn Balor is starting to feel a little bit irrelevant now. Like, he is the leader of the Judgment Day, but really, Judgment Day's leader is Rhea Ripley. And she's going to SmackDown to face Charlotte Flair. It kind of feels like he's getting lost in the shuffle. Same with Damian Priest, though. Like, Damian Priest really is, he's there. And at first, it felt like...
He's always been just there. Even as a solo wrestler. And I keep bringing up the point, like, what's he meant to be? I still don't know what he's meant to be. I mean, at least he's in a heel faction now with some direction. But he's still just there.
Yeah.
He's not the main focal point of anything, and he never has been.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of Scott Norton in the NWO. Like, he's a solid wrestler in that, but he's just there.
Yeah.
But, I gave it 3.5 stars. I thought it was a well-done match. I just think it was a missed opportunity with the Ray storyline to get that going. The next match on the card was the United States Championship Elimination Chamber match, which had the champion Austin Theory defending. I'm on fire today, really. Defending against Seth Rollins. Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Mr. Vanilla. Actually, no, that's Austin Theory. He's Mr. Vanilla.
Don't tell Vince that.
Damian Priest, Montez Ford of the Street Profits, and Johnny Gargano, Mr. Johnny Wrestling. And the match started with Johnny Gargano and Seth Rollins, which I thought was a great way to start off the match. Two really solid technical wrestlers who could just go.
Oh, yeah.
And then eventually, the next person who comes out was Austin Theory, the default creator wrestler. Comes on out, and he tries to get Johnny Gargano to work with him against Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins calls him a piece of shit, which audibly comes through the microphone.
There was a few rather audible swearies tonight.
Yeah, not just from the crowd.
Not just from the crowd.
And then eventually, as the clock is getting closer to the next person being released, Rollins, Gargano lock themselves in a cell with Austin Theory and proceed to beat the holy hell out of him inside the cell, inside the chamber.
That was a fun spot.
Then Damian Priest is released.
Not from his contract, unfortunately.
His contract.
Just the pod.
Just the chamber.
Just the pod.
And then Bronson Reed enters the chamber match. And then Montez Ford enters the chamber match. And Montez Ford just comes out as a ball of fury. He
stole the goddamn show.
He does this amazing spine buster that even Shay was like, that's a fantastic spine buster. And I went, that looks like the Rock's spine buster. And then he walked around the other side, took off his athletic tape, and threw it to the crowd like he was about to do the people's elbow. And we thought we were going to get the people's elbow, and then Bronson Reed hit him.
Yeah.
I was so bummed by that. I wanted to see it.
That would have been cool.
And then Austin Theory picked up Bronson Reed on his shoulders.
That was impressive.
Yeah,
that was impressive. I was waiting for his knee to pop.
For a default creator wrestler that's got 5 on all his attributes, that is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we get the most impressive spot of the entire match. So Seth Rollins and Johnny Gargano are on top of a pod. Everyone else is outside. And Seth Rollins goes to powerbomb Johnny Gargano off the pod. Johnny Gargano reverses it into a Hurricane Rana that flips Seth Rollins off the top of the chamber through everyone else.
It was quite impressive.
And Johnny Gargano smacked his head on the chamber on the way down. But Priest caught him. Priest caused him.
Yep.
And then they were all fighting around the outside, and Montez Ford starts climbing up the dome and gets to the roof of the dome and does, I'm going to call it the Spider-Man spot.
Yeah.
Where he just let go and took out everyone.
You forget, well, the most impressive part about it was he hung upside down by his ankles.
Yeah.
He had his ankles hooked through the chains, hanging upside down like...
No, he was still holding on, but he like...
But he had his feet vertical.
Yeah, his feet horizontal, like pretty much reverse planking on it.
Yeah, he was pretty much reverse plank. Yeah, and then he like reverse planked on the thing and then dropped from the roof onto everybody.
Super impressive.
But then...
It was brilliant.
Sadly, shortly after that, Montez Ford eliminates Bronson Reed.
Mm.
And then Johnny Gargano reverses a power. Oh, that's when that spot happened, after he took out the Reed. I got to read my own damn notes. So that's when that spot happened, the Spider-Man spot. And then Damian Priest hit the Razor's Edge, the Outsider's Edge, on Johnny Gargano and eliminates Johnny Gargano. Montez Ford hit the Blockbuster on Damian Priest and eliminated Damian Priest. And then Theory pins Montez Ford. Ford is eliminated after he cops a stomp from Seth Rollins. And Montez Ford looks like he's seriously injured, but it was just kayfabe.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
They had to bring in like medical staff to help him out and everything. And while the cage door was open, Logan Paul shows up and delivers a buckshot lariat.
He's really good at buckshot lariats.
Yeah, he's a lot better than CM Punk. Hits the buckshot lariat on Seth Rollins and then curb stomps him a couple of times. Theory then hits the A-Town down on Seth Rollins, and Austin Theory wins and retains the United States Championship. I gave this one 4.5 stars. I thought it was incredible.
I thought it was a very good match too.
And it was different from the first one because this one had stuff we hadn't seen before. This one had innovative stuff. Whereas the last one just felt like it was a greatest hits package. This had stuff in it.
Yep.
This made Johnny Gargano, Seth Rollins, Montez Ford, even Bronson Reed made them look really good.
Yep.
Theory, not much you can do with Theory because he is still default creator wrestler.
And he's a champ anyway, so...
Yeah.
But he's got the belt, and he lifted Bronson Reed onto his fucking shoulders, man.
Yeah.
That was cool.
And Damian Priest. Right, so...
And Damian Priest, full stop.
Well, Priest had a couple of good moments.
Yeah.
But he's just there.
Yeah, it's just... He was there. He was the Scott Norton of it.
Everybody did cool shit, and Damian Priest was just there.
He was the one catching everyone.
He did. Oh, he stopped Johnny Gargano from snapping his neck.
True.
Actually, he almost snapped his neck again when he did that backflip off Bronson Reed. And like he was doing like the reverse Hurricane Rana, but he
the
almost
Poison
fell
Rana, and he
Poison
bent
Rana.
himself backwards in half.
almost like landed on his neck, and then Bronson Reed almost landed on his neck.
Yeah.
For our entertainment. That's good shit, pal.
Look at this beef, pal.
That's some beef, pal.
But it was impressive because that was Gargano's really first good showing since he's come to the main roster.
Yeah, it's really the first time he's been utilised as Johnny Wrestling.
Yes.
If you give him the platform to go,
This
he
is
will
what he
go.
can do. Exactly.
Okay. I actually had, I think it was your sister, Beck. She messaged me during the match saying that she felt that Seth Rollins was a Shawn Michaels knockoff. And I'm sitting there going, if you want shades of Shawn Michaels, it's Johnny Gargano. He is the showstopper.
Seth's always sort of had that Shawn Michael-esque flair, though.
Yeah,
He's not wrong, but I mean...
I think just Johnny Gargano's got more of Shawn Michaels' flamboyant showmanship in the ring.
Yeah. I think Seth's a bit different in his character than Shawn was. But he's very similar.
Yeah. Shay, what are your thoughts on the match?
I'll also give it a 4. It was a brilliant match. One of the best matches of the card by quite a long shot. A whole bunch of different spots there that we've already gone through. A lot of shit we didn't see before. Montez Ford definitely was the MVP of that match. Mr. Spot after spot after spot. He's just that good at it. He's arguably one of the best, if not the best high flyer that WWE have at the moment, other than Ricochet. I'd love to see a match between him and Ricochet and them just go nuts. Give him a ladder match. Get that into me.
They both die.
Money in the bank.
Yeah, exactly. Money in the
bank.
bank, absolutely. Chuck both. That I can nearly guarantee you both of those guys will be in that match.
Both those guys and Johnny Gargano.
Yep. And Johnny, give us some, what's some other high flyers in there that are good? Bronson, I can nearly guarantee will also be in that as well.
You know what? I'd like to see Logan Paul in it.
I'd like to see him in it, but I don't think he will. It's a bit too high risk for him.
I think he's game.
Yeah, but I don't think it will, just purely for the fact that those matches are prone for injuries and the insurance for Logan Paul will be astronomical.
Fair enough.
Same thing why The Rock doesn't have hardcore matches or any shit like that anymore.
He's protected by YouTube, damn it.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant match. Probably the best Elimination Chamber match I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah. JB?
Yeah, 4.5. Match of the night, easily. First time I've seen Bronson Reed in action. He looked good. Montez Ford, as much as I love the Street Profits, if the direction is them becoming singles players, Montez Ford has shown that he can do it. Go out on his own. Johnny Gargano was great. Seth Rollins was great.
Damian Priest was there.
Damian Priest. Austin Theory did the thing. Austin Theory
Default creator wrestler.
did the lift thing.
Tammy Priest was present.
Yeah, Montez Ford stole the show, man. And then,
Him and Gargano.
yeah, him and Gargano.
Yep.
And Seth.
Yeah.
Seth was good. Seth carried that match pretty well, all the way to the end.
So it's just
From start to finish.
Man
So, yeah.
is just consistently
Yeah,
good.
that's
no
right.
matter what
He
does.
is Mr. Consistency in the company right now.
Yep.
He's consistently there. He's consistently at the top.
Yeah. He's good. He's
No
good.
matter where you put him on a card, he'll always perform well.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4.5. Match of the night.
Right. And then we get to the main event, which was for the WWE Undisputed Universal World
Stop before you hurt yourself.
championship match. I still got to figure out what was that title belt in the crowd someone had.
I don't know, but it looked awesome.
Yeah, look cool.
So that means it rules out being an AEW title.
No, it looked badass. I don't know what that belt was, but I want one.
They're very spiky.
Yeah, very spiky.
Okay. So it was between the WWE Undisputed Universal World Champion Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn in Sami Zayn's hometown of Montreal, Quebec.
Canada.
When Sami Zayn came out, he got an Austin-level pop.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like Austin during the Attitude Era level pop. Like, that was huge. It was a slightly slower match in terms of pace, but a lot of it was soaked up with Roman Reigns just jaw-jacking with the crowd and getting a lot of heat. But
Bad guy being a bad guy.
But it is something I'm noticing with a lot of Roman Reigns matches that they're very stop-start. Like,
yeah.
they start, they do a little bit, and then it stops, and he jaw-jacks. And then he starts, he does a little bit, he stops, jaw-jacks.
Yeah, his pacing's kind of weird.
So you know it's a Roman Reigns match. I'm just glad that they're realising if they put him in there with guys like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens who can go in the ring, that they can use the pace to their advantage. If you put him in there with Brock Lesnar, it just becomes a snore fest.
Yes.
But Roman Reigns, he was hitting Sami Zayn hard with those punches too. Like, every time he hit him, it was a loud crack.
He was making sure Montreal fucking knew what was up.
But at one point, Sami Zayn, this was when the pizzas got delivered, Sami Zayn hit the Superman punch on Roman Reigns and then went for the and hit the haluva kick. But the referee got taken out. And then Jimmy Uso came out and super kicked the shit out of Sami. And then hit the Uso splash on him. And then Reigns went for a pin. But there was no referee. And Sami woke up and took out Jimmy. And another ref came in. He got taken out. And then Jey Uso showed up. While Roman Reigns had a chair. And Roman Reigns gave him the chair and said, pick him. You know, hit Sami with the chair. And Jey couldn't make up his mind and didn't hit anyone, so Roman took the chair off him. And then Sami speared Jey by accident. He was aiming for Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns stepped out of the way and he hit Jey.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a couple of haluva kicks, where we all thought it was all over and he was going to do it and everyone on Twitter was going to be happy and merry and gay, Roman Reigns hits a spear, first ref climbs back in, counts to 3, and Roman Reigns wins and retains the Undisputed Championship. And then post-match, the Jimmy Uso was putting a beat down on Sami. Kevin Owens comes out and helps Sami fight off Roman and Jimmy, while Jey is nowhere to be found again. And then Kevin Owens walks off.
Yes.
So, Shay, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on the match?
The match itself, I'm going to give a 4.5 star. It was a very, very well done match, led up by the best storyline that WWE have had in multiple years. This was a good finish to the feud between these two. Unfortunately, it didn't end with Sami winning, which would have been perfection if they had him win, but I can see why they don't want that until Mania. to break that streak. Sammy was super emotional going into that match. You could see it in his face that it was quite nervous until the adrenaline kicked in. Roman had quite a few good spots on the outside with the fans, namely his wife, and these kids are actually crying.
It's always good when someone's kids crying.
Yeah.
Means you're doing your job properly.
Absolutely. It just goes to show that Roman knows he's doing well as a heel there because doing what bad guys
Because
do.
they were chanting "fuck you, Roman" for 30 minutes straight.
Fuck you, Roman throughout the whole entire pay-per-view when he's not there. But it was a very, very good match, and that's how you're meant to do hometown matches. Even though they don't win, that's how you want to do them. You want to do them where the crowd is so behind them that you can hear them pretty much the whole entire night, even when they're not actually wrestling yet. Just magnificently done, which is out of character for WWE for kind of
until Triple H took over.
Yeah, until Triple H took over, exactly.
Which to me, it's even something that AEW seems to struggle with.
Yeah, they have some good ones. Don't get me wrong, but the storyline the storytelling at the moment is a bit lackluster. They just need to fix it up a little bit.
JB?
Yeah, 4 out of 5. Really good match. Really good feel. Montreal crowd was on fire. Roman Reigns was just in his element as a bad guy. Just feeding the Montreal crowd and beating the shit out of Sami Zayn at every opportunity, and then they all get their hopes up, and then every time Sami Zayn has an opportunity to win the match, the referee's unconscious. I sort of agree with Twitter on this. The Usos getting involved was a bit needless. I think you could have done it without the Usos. I understand why, because now you've got your tag match for Mania, but it felt a bit, we've seen this before, sort of shit. But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the match. I really enjoyed the storytelling. I really enjoyed the crowd. I really enjoyed that Roman Reigns is in his element now as the best heel in wrestling. And, it's all going to come to a head at WrestleMania, obviously, but for, if this is the last time he holds the straps, at least it's a pretty memorable one.
That's the thing. Like, at the moment, your two biggest heels in the world are both world champions with Roman Reigns and MJF.
Yes.
And, I mean, they really are the two best heels in the world at the moment.
You can't have them wrestle, though, because Roman Reigns would just toothpick MJF.
You got something to say about that, Shay?
No, nothing at all.
No, nothing at all. Oh, he's conceding.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Right, well, I gave it 4.5, and for me, it was actually match of the night.
Yeah, right.
I know that's, like, it was stiff competition against the Elimination Chamber, but the story involved in this just had me so hooked.
And the crowd, man. I feel like if that was anywhere but Montreal, probably wouldn't feel the same.
You still would have gotten that huge crowd.
You would have got the crowd, but not that way. Like, who was it on commentary? I think it was Michael Cole. He's like, this is Roman Reigns' first proper away match as champion.
Yeah.
Like, he's been the champion for 3 years, but this is the first time he's walked into an arena and absolutely been Public Enemy #1 fully. It was his first proper away match, and he sold it so well.
I think the only things that... Well, something I really enjoyed with the match was how much trash talking he was doing to Sami Zayn's wife.
Yeah.
Like he was getting the whole family involved in this match. The thing I didn't like about this match was Jey Uso not turning on Sami. Like, we know it's coming.
At Mania,
but
where it happens.
It'll happen on SmackDown next week.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because they've got to set up the tag title match. But at one thought I was going to be Kevin Owens turns on Sami Zayn. And it'll be Sami versus KO at Mania.
No, you can't have that.
But I don't want that. I don't want that.
Nah, man, Bloodline needs to walk out of Mania with 0 belts.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen. It's going to be the end of the Bloodline, and Roman Reigns is going to go part-time.
I think he's going to ride off into the sunset for a year.
He wants to go part-time. He wants to do movies. He wants to have a break.
Yeah.
He said that for ages.
So the build-up of him versus Cody at Mania is perfect.
It's been that, and that's what Twitter doesn't get.
Yeah.
The worst part about this whole thing is Sami Zayn. Because it was always going to be Cody Rhodes beating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. It's been that for 12 months. That was the plan. That's been the plan since day one. And Sami Zayn's got so much momentum in this storyline, and it grew so organically and got everyone so invested. And the biggest loser out of all of this is Sami Zayn because he wasn't in the plans. And someone just brought up the whole Batista Daniel Bryan thing to me. They just used my own comment and swapped Roman Reigns for Batista. It's like it was always meant to be Batista. Daniel Bryan was never meant to be there, And they're right. We've done it before. Sami Zayn will get his shot. Sami Zayn will get his shot. He will be champion within the next 12 months.
At least this way they sort of didn't scrap Sami Zayn completely and just left him by the wayside. They brought Kevin Owens in there to save him, so that's probably going to lead towards the tag team championships there between Jimmy and Jay. Obviously, they're going to have a falling out because Jay didn't do shit tonight. Yeah, and with KO coming in to save Sami, they'll probably team up, which I'd like to see. They always go on real well together.
I'm just hoping that if at some point they are going to put the belt on Sami Zayn, they have to keep the momentum up with him.
It has to be soon.
They have to keep the momentum up with him. They either put money in.
But it's going to be hard, man, because the champion is going to be Cody Rhodes.
They either have.
And he got face versus face, and
But you either have to put the Money in the Bank contract on him, or you've got to keep his momentum going all the way up until the Royal Rumble and get him to win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, but the whole thing with this was Sami Zayn turning on Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And then Sami Zayn costing Roman Reigns the championships or beating him for the titles. It's not going to feel the same if it's Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes.
No.
It's not going to feel the same. WWE's drawn themselves into a corner with Cody Rhodes was the heir apparent from the moment, not only from the moment he came out at number 30 in the Rumble and won the Rumble. It was before that. It was the moment he walked back through the curtain from AEW. He was the guy earmarked to beat Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn just doesn't have the same feel.
No.
And it won't.
And the thing is, like you said, they haven't factored in Sami Zayn. It's because it wasn't the plan. It was supposed to be Sami Zayn was just there for a couple of weeks, and it did something that Vince McMahon can't understand, which is it grew organically.
It got over.
It got over organically. It wasn't forced. It wasn't a Vince McMahon creation.
It just sucks because the timing was so perfect.
Absolutely.
Imagine if Cody Rhodes was out injured right now. You would be having...
this match would have been at WrestleMania.
This would have been WrestleMania Night 2 main event.
Yeah, easily.
And it would have been the biggest pop.
Sami would have won the Royal Rumble.
Sami would have... Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he would have won the Royal Rumble, and he would have been over like Red Rover.
And it sucks. And it sucks because it would have been the perfect storyline.
But they just...
But Cody Rhodes was... This plan has been set for a year. So, and that's what I'm trying to get over with the people on Twitter who are bitching about it.
I think the only way they could rebuild Sami Zayn back up to this level is around SummerSlam, turn Cody heel.
Yeah.
But keep the belt on him and just have a war.
Yeah.
Just have Cody... you know what it is? And this is the thing that people don't understand about the old finger poke of doom. The finger poke of doom's purpose was to rebuild the NWO and have the world title back around Hogan so that they could rebuild Goldberg. That was Kevin Nash's plan.
Yep.
Was to rebuild Goldberg and build him back up.
And take out the NWO.
Take out the NWO. And it's the heel machine. You got to feed him the heel machine.
Yeah, Goldberg didn't understand that.
Looks like that Edge has accepted Austin Theory's US title open challenge for Monday.
Nice.
So Edge isn't done yet. Go figure.
Wow.
But looks like he's moved on from Judgment Day. That's a good thing.
Unless they fucking interfere in the match.
I mean, they could. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could have tweaked the ending on this match, but I was just thrilled with the match. And the whole match, I don't know about you guys, but the whole match, I was on the edge of my seat just going, if there is a chance, Sammy
now.
can do this.
Yep, exactly.
And that's storytelling that you want. You don't want to know 2 months in advance, oh, yeah, Cody's going to be blah, 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 blah.
But we have.
Yeah.
I know. The entire point of wrestling is to suspend reality. Suspend your belief for as long as you can be emotionally invested in a predetermined outcome. And this match had it.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
But it was never the plan.
You know, this match always felt like the Undertaker matches at WrestleMania, where the streak was on the line, like Shawn Michaels and Taker.
Yeah.
You know, like particularly
both those matches.
Particularly the second one, where it was Taker's streak versus Shawn Michaels' career.
Yeah.
And you're on the edge of your seat going, oh, this could go either way. I'd be happy either way, but God damn it. You know, I don't want Shawn Michaels to retire, but I don't want the streak to break.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's or when Shawn Michaels took on Ric Flair at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't want Ric Flair to retire, but you didn't want Shawn Michaels to lose.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then, the heartbreaking moment of him saying, I'm sorry, I love you, and he kicks him in the face. And you're just like, oh, God. You know, it's heartbreaking, but at the same time, like, well, what were they going to do?
Probably not as heartbreaking as Brock Lesnar pitting him at WrestleMania 30. Or as shocking.
We don't talk about that. Or Roman Reigns beating Taker at Mania 32.
I keep forgetting Roman Reigns beat him at Mania. See, that would have been a good changing of the guard. People would have hated it either way, but
yeah, it was.
What if Roman Reigns was the one that broke the streak, not Lesnar?
Yeah, well, but
at least that makes sense.
But the match was so crap that
the match was terrible.
Yeah. Right.
Imagine like current bloodline Roman Reigns versus Taker at Mania. Just bad guy versus good guy, but bad guy wins. That would be go away heat.
Okay, so the pay-per-view overall, how many cheese graters out of 5 would you give it, JB?
This is a good pay-per-view. 3.5.
Shane?
I'll give it a 4. It's pretty solid.
I gave it a 3.5 as well.
There was a couple of draggy matches, but
yeah,
the first women's champion match was a bit flat, but there was some good spots.
There was good spots, but it was a bit flat.
The Lesnar match was fucking shit.
Yeah, could have put something else in there.
That was trash. Wasn't Rousey supposed to versus Flair?
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be Charlotte versus Rousey, but
that would have been a better match.
Yeah,
for what it's worth. The men's champion match was fucking match of the night. I loved it.
Yeah,
it was great, and then everything built up to the main event, and it was a good main event.
And it was 3 hours. Pay-per-view was 3 hours.
Yeah, that's one of WWE's better pay-per-views.
Yeah,
that was a really good, and that's the last one before Mania too.
Yeah,
and that's a good one to hang your hat on, going into the granddaddy of them all.
You're a granddaddy.
The showcase of the immortals.
Right. So I've only got one quick news item to talk about.
Wait, did you guys give cheese graters?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, you gave it a 3.5.
And you gave it a 4?
Yeah, and I gave it 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that?
Right, so the news item I just want to quickly cover, and JB's probably going to sort of sit this one out because I don't think he's totally aware of these guys.
Yeah, I'm not up on the wrestling.
But there's 2 guys now that are apparently free agents from New Japan.
Mr. Bullet Club himself.
Yeah, Mr. Bullet Club, Jay White, who's he's from New Zealand, isn't
Angry
he?
Kiwi.
Yeah,
Yes.
Angry Kiwi.
I know him.
And Kota Ibushi. Kota Ibushi has been in WWE for a cup of coffee a few years ago after the Cruiserweight Classic.
And not booked well at all.
No. And but he's always gotten along really well with Triple H. And so they're free agents on the market.
I can nearly pretty much go on a limb and say Kota is going to go to AEW because of Kenny and all the rest of them there and the close relationship they have with New Japan.
I think Jay White's going to go to WWE.
I do think Jay White is going to go to WWE because of AJ. And, well, actually, the Good Brothers are over in AEW now.
Good Brothers?
No, sorry, they're in WWE. Sorry, fuck.
Yeah, the OC.
Yeah, they're back as the OC, of course.
Yeah, AJ's injured, but...
Yeah, so you got Bullet Club opportunities there, and Finn as well.
Yeah.
You got majority of the Bullet Club actually in WWE now over AEW.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely think that's going to be like that. Jay has appeared on AEW before though, so who knows?
Yeah, I think for Jay, he'll go to WWE because it's a chance.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
I also think Kota Ibushi's going to go to WWE, but Kota Ibushi's, he said, like, I'll go back to WWE. I don't mind, but I want to be a coach at the Performance Center as well as an active wrestler. Which, that would be great. I think a lot of their flippy-dippy guys need a little bit of training, and he'd be the perfect guy to train them in flippy-dippy. Then you've got another free agent who everyone's trying to figure out where he's going, and that's Nick Aldis.
Yeah, I'd like to see him in WWE.
I think he'd be a perfect fit in WWE, but everyone thinks he's going to Impact. I think that's a step backwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think his style doesn't work in AEW. So I think WWE is a perfect fit for Nick Aldis. The only thing that's hurting Nick Aldis is that Triple H sees nothing in him. Which, that's a big call, because Triple H sees something in everyone. Except if you're in Hit Row. And he's not seeing anything in Nick Aldis. But I think if he looks at him real closely, he might find something. He might find someone to feed to Cody Rhodes. So that's my thoughts on it. But cool. So that was Elimination Chamber 2023. I think the next time we're doing one of these might be the next AEW pay-per-view, which is in March, I think. We'll see how we go, though. But, that's another bit of news, too, is that not only is WWE on Foxtel now, but so is AEW.
Yeah, they've got a 24/7 channel on KO, which is nice.
Who,
WWE?
Yeah.
And AEW is on ESPN.
Yeah, same with Binge as well. They're on,
Yeah.
Well, I've already got
multiple.
I've already got KO, so...
Well,
The only thing is, it's a 24/7 channel on KO, which means I can't select individual...
Yeah, it's not on demand. It's
Yeah,
just
I
a
can't
channel.
select individual shows to watch. I
No,
just have to be watching at the time.
Well, yeah.
It's like the 90s, I have to just be watching at the time.
Yeah, Foxtel's got the same channel. Because at the same time on the WWE channel and Fox 8, they're both running Raw and SmackDown and NXT at the same time.
That's odd that Fox 8 wouldn't just drop them.
Yeah, but I think there's people who don't have the WWE Network channel.
Isn't it just an add-on?
Who
Mine
knows?
literally added on to KO automatically. I didn't even know.
But Binge is the home of the WWE Network.
Yeah, I'm
they're
not getting another fucking subscription.
Binge is cheap as hell. It's like $9.
It was $9 on top of $9 on top of $14. I've got Paramount Plus.
Get rid of Paramount Plus.
No, Paramount Plus is great.
Paramount Plus is pretty good.
I need to get... I got rid of Amazon Prime. I regret it now because...
Paramount Plus has all like the old school stuff, like from old school Nick and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly why I've got it.
If there's one thing...
watching
We just got it too.
I've been watching old episodes of Rocko's Modern Life. Like,
And Angry Beavers.
yeah.
If there's one subscription thing I'm actually thinking about getting rid of, it's either Netflix or Disney Plus.
We
I
dropped
don't have
Netflix.
Netflix, so it's good.
Yeah, we dropped Netflix and we actually dropped All-Star for Binge because Binge has 90% of All-Star anyway. And you save yourself like $140.
Yeah,
That's the
look,
problem with the subscription
We've
model.
got Foxtel here because Mum watches Foxtel.
Mm.
So that's why we got Foxtel. But I am signed up for Binge as well because of the network stuff. But they haven't uploaded everything yet.
Not yet. They say they will.
I did actually send a message to Binge saying, look, you've got the network. Where's the rest of the stuff? Like, I want to watch WCW stuff. And they're like, WWE hasn't supplied us with the files yet to upload.
Right, the fact that they said they are going to is pretty sick, though.
They'll work on it.
They're going to stagger when they get all the stuff, they're going to stagger it so it doesn't overload the network.
Which is fair.
So then they reckon by August they're going to have everything that's on the network when it closed on their thing.
Which is awesome to hear.
Yeah, but just hurry up and put the WCW ones on.
Stop bitching. They're getting
Shut up.
there.
Shut up, I'm allowed to.
You're like a Canadian watching Sami Zayn lose.
Oh, God, you're like a Roman Reigns fan.
I am. The Island of
Yeah, I
Relevansville
know.
is nice.
Yeah, ESPN has got AEW now in Australia, so I
Yes.
promptly got on Fight and cancelled it.
I never paid my subscription
didn't
to
take-
Fight. I just have Fight there.
That didn't take long.
No.
There's a lot of people that said that too. They're like, as soon as ESPN announced it, they're like, cancelling Fight, thank fuck.
Yeah, that's the only thing people had it for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Fight used to have, like, Japanese MMA on there. I don't even think they have that now. So,
Yeah. I think Fight still has the New Japan Pro Wrestling stuff on there, though.
meh.
But, like, even Impact has got their own version of the WWE Network now.
That's the future.
Yeah. Right. So, now we've finished waffling on. That was the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view for 2023. I want to thank JB and Shay for jumping in.
Welcome.
And
No problem.
I'm going to go and have a shower and wake myself up because you guys got here about... I woke up about 20 minutes before the pay-per-view started, and I'm
Jesus.
slightly injured after falling over and taking a bump at a gig last night.
You're good at taking a flat back bump, mate. Give you that much.
Yeah, it's great fun.
Hey, give it more stars than Lesnar versus Lashley.
Oh,
It was more entertaining than Lesnar versus Lashley.
Oh, it was spot of the night, mate.
Certainly.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you for the next one, if it's AEW or WWE. But thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Until then, it is goodbye.